We've talked a lot about the Georgia Senate race, the Arizona Senate race, 2024 presidential contest. We haven't talked a ton about the New Hampshire Miss America contests, okay? And we haven't talked in particular about Brian Noyen, who is the first man to win the Miss Greater Derry 2023 competition. Your new Miss Greater Derry is Brian Noyen. And you see him in his dress, and all the poor little cute blonde girls they have to pretend to be happy behind him. And then he, who is for those of you who are not watching right now, for those of you who are only listening, this man is, I don't want to be mean to the guy. There's a lot of pretty little blonde girls around him who look like, young blonde girls. And then there's this more corpulent guy, he just looks more like a man, and he's bigger, and he's just bigger, okay? And he wouldn't have gotten my vote for Miss Greater Derry. I'm not on the Electoral Commission for this contest, but it's absurd. How did he win? Even if he were a woman, it would not make sense for him to win this beauty contest, okay? He probably has many other virtues and talents, but he should not win. So why? Why? They have to do it. They have to do it because the left we know hates truth, and the left we know hates goodness, and the left also hates that third transcendental, hates beauty. That's why the leftists all over the world are throwing soup on famous, beautiful paintings. That's why they attack beautiful buildings and beautiful architecture, and they try to burn these things to the ground. The left hates beauty, and so the left has to redefine truth as falsehood and goodness as evil and beauty as grotesquerie. And that is what they're doing. This is why now when you see billboards for clothing, it used to be you'd go in magazines and you'd see on billboards for clothing companies, you'd have these beautiful models, Christy Brinkley, right? Heidi Klum, oh my God, Tyra Banks, these really beautiful people. Now you don't see those people on the billboards and in the magazines. You see big, ugly, mutilated people who make themselves look uglier than they otherwise would, who contort themselves and try, and that's, they call it positivity. It's not positivity. It's an inversion of standards to reorder all of society. That's what they're really after. It's part of the exact same attack on truth and goodness that we see everywhere. They have to do it. And the saddest part of it, the most sort of Stalin-esque totalitarian part of it, is those poor little girls in the background one of whom should have won the contest. They have to applaud. They have to smile, and they have to say, oh, this is so great that this big dude won the girls' beauty pageant. We ha ha ha. Just like all those girls on the swim team at UPenn have to smile and applaud when that big dude, Will Thomas, who calls himself Leah, takes all of their trophies. They have to do it. Because if they do not affirm this absurd, dominant regime, they will be exiled. They will be ostracized. They'll be called awful, phobic, terrible people. So they have to do it too. And you're supposed to do it too. And I'm supposed to do it too. And I don't. And then they take some of my shows off YouTube and, don't invite me to the nice fancy parties and things like that. But it's a total kind of ideology. It's everywhere. It's not just Joe Biden and that fellow, Richard Levine, the assistant health secretary. It's not just them from the official government posts who are pushing the trans ideology. It's everywhere. It's all the way down to the little teen beauty pageant in Miss Greater Derry 2023. Right now, head on over to establishedtitles.com/Knowles. Established Titles is your opportunity to earn the title of Lord or Lady and gain the respect you deserve. All you need is a 1 square foot plot of land in Scotland, okay? I had this problem where I thought, I'm just not getting the respect that is due to me, okay? People they'd come up to me, they'd say, hey, Michael, hey, Mr. Knowles, Mr.? I want to be referred to as a laird or a lord, okay? There is this wonderful Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lords and ladies. Well, in your title pack, you will be bestowed with at least 1 square foot of dedicated land on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, plus an official certificate with a crest. Your certificate features a unique plot number with which you can see the exact location of your land. Title packs from Established Titles are a fun and unique gift for any occasion. There are a couple packs because you don't want to let your wife, just be some strumpet. You're a lord and then she's just some chick on the street. So you want her to be a lady as well. Established Titles told me that the first 200 people to purchase a title pack using my exclusive link will receive a plot within walking distance of mine. Depending on how many of you want to become a lord or a lady, we can begin to build our own kingdom. Established Titles is actually running a massive sale right now, and if you use code Knowles at checkout, you will get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/Knowles to get your gifts now and help support the channel. The establishment has bought into transgenderism, even though the people broadly don't like it, even though the Republicans who did very, very well in the midterms and in recent years have done so running against transgenderism. I'm thinking of Ron DeSantis, especially in Florida, biggest winner of the night during the midterms. I'm thinking of Glenn Youngkin in Virginia. I'm thinking of an issue that has brought a lot of people over from the Democrat side to the Republican side. The establishment still pushes it, including the supposedly right-wing media channels. Not all of them, but the ones that have most accommodated themselves to the elite kind of media apparatus, they go along with it. I'm not surprised when NBC and ABC and CNN and all the New York Times and Washington Post, I'm not surprised when they buy into the absolutely absurd idea that a man is a woman and that a man who dyes his hair a crazy color and mutilates his body puts lipstick on, is totally normal and brave and stunning and so brilliant and, should be affirmed in that delusion. I'm not surprised by that. But even I, with my low expectations, was surprised. I shouldn't be anymore, but I was surprised to see this piece from Fox News. Fox News tweets out yesterday, breaking barriers. Leigh Finke attributed her victory to the rise of queer political power. And I said, oh, Leigh Finke, who's Leigh Finke? And then I look at the picture and it's this, poor caricature of a troubled man who has pink dyed hair and a woman's haircut and is wearing a kind of turquoise woman's top and wearing lipstick, and it's just ridiculous. The man should be in an insane asylum, not in any sort of political office. And then I read the headline and I thought, is Fox News kind of mocking this absurdity? Is this a sort of tongue-in-cheek? But Fox used the pronoun. Fox News is referring to a dude who is very obviously a dude as her. Unironically, I think. I've got the article here. Minnesota elects first transgender state lawmaker. Even to use the phrase transgender seriously is just to buy the premise of the left, which is absurd. The idea that there is such a thing as transgenderism, there is not. There is no ontological category of, trans women or trans men. It doesn't exist. There are men who wrongly express their sexual nature and women who wrongly express their sexual nature, but there's no such thing as transgender as an actual category of being. Minnesota voters have elected the state's first transgender lawmaker into office. Finke's opponent received, just 18.5% of the vote. When Finke is sworn into office in January, she will replace Alice Houseman, who was first elected to office in 1989. Oh my goodness gracious. She. Many stories will be written about Minnesota's elections, she said in a tweet, quoting the Victory Fund. One undeniable story is the rise of queer political power. Yeah, that's true. We do have very queer powers in this country. The principalities and powers of this world have long been a bit queer, and they're now very explicitly queer, including at Fox News, I guess. What is that about, guys? Come on, you're supposed to be the right-wing cable channel, And if if even the supposedly right-wing, even center-right conservative cable channel is embracing the most insanely radical leftist idea possibly in American history, who needs Democrats? With right-wingers like this, who needs leftists? Absolutely pathetic. It's misinformation is what it is. To call that man a woman is misinformation. Elon, censor this tweet. It's misinformation. You're not allowed to mention that COVID probably came from a Chinese laboratory or that the vaccine isn't all that effective at stopping infection and transmission of COVID. That's horrible misinformation. But you can call this obvious dude a chick, and that's true information? I don't think so. I don't think so. We've got a very important conservative lawyer coming on to help us discuss that. That would, of course, be Jenna Ellis. The rest of the show continues now. You do not want to miss it. If you're not a member, click the link in the description and join us.